Hello, I'm Lelde Smits for the Capital Network. Joining me here in Melbourne is FAR's Managing Director Cath Norman. Cath, wonderful to speak with you.
Thank you.
Now, Cath, we've had global oil prices completely collapse in the past 2 years. Where is the light at the end of the tunnel?
Oh, there's no doubt that the low oil prices meant that most companies have slashed their cost base, and it means that going forward in an environment where we're forecasting a higher oil price, companies will be much leaner and meaner going forward.
Now, Cath, you say leaner and meaner. Where do you see the oil price heading, and how is that likely to impact the industry?
Look, the oil price is forecast. Most forecasters are saying the oil price is going to recover, and we're going to meet some supply-demand balance towards the end of this year and certainly early into 17. And with a lot of production cuts from particularly in the US and other areas where a $50 oil price is just not viable, it means that we will end up with an undersupply of oil going forward. So I'm hoping that the forecasters are right and that we're looking for quite a bit of recovery going forward in the oil price.
Now, Cath, you work in Africa. Can you explain for us how African governments are tackling the low oil price environment and what's your outlook for the region?
Yes, so back in the early 2010s, Africa was certainly flavour of the month for explorers in particular, and we saw a wave of licensing rounds across Africa and a wave of licensing of African exploration acreage. And it resulted in a lot of the African countries increasing or making their terms much more onerous or more favourable to the national oil companies and the national countries. And in this low oil price environment, a lot of those terms don't fly anymore. And we saw a classic example from Brazil, which I know is not Africa, that recently had a licensing round, and only 15% of their blocks that were offered were taken up. And in response to the low oil price, I think it's important for governments all around the world, and specifically Africa, where there's been a recent wave of licensing, to sort of be a bit more realistic about the terms they're offering explorers.
Absolutely. Well, we will all be watching with interest to see how that oil price evolves over the coming months and years. Thank you for your insights today.
Thank you, Lelde.